Did you know Iraq invaded Kuwait before 1990? It's surprising news to me, a Kuwaiti. But apparently it's the plot to a comedy movie starring Eddie Murphy called Best Defense. The crazy thing is, my father is a huge Eddie Murphy fan and he has never heard of this. That's how bad it is. They tried to bury it. But let's find out for ourselves. Yallah. What is this? From the very first frame, we already have a lie. This is not Kuwait. There is no area by the sea with a town that looks like this. I wonder where it was filmed. Oh, look, Israel. The adhan, which is the call for prayer, is playing. While that's playing, they have music going on. This is a huge no-no. Out of respect, you're supposed to stop all music when the adhan is playing. Goes to show you how much they know. What am I looking at right now? What are these mountains? Okay, people, Kuwait is flatter than a plank of wood. We don't have mountains, so this is totally and completely off. And then look at the buildings in this town. What is this? Is Kuwait in the 1920s? In the 1980s, Kuwait was flourishing. We were the epicenter of stock trading in the entire region. The country was rich, the people were incredibly smart and prosperous, and we didn't have villages that look like this. Let's look at this joke of a person on the bottom right. He's got a qitra and an agal on, but he obviously doesn't have a gahfiya. The gahfiya is a skull cap that goes between the qitra and your head to help keep it in place. This guy's agal is way too far down, which shows that he doesn't have the gaffi on. Another thing about the agal, look at the back, there's a cord going down from it. Kuwaitis don't wear agals with the cords going down. My eyes are being assaulted by all the things wrong going on. We're introduced to Eddie Murphy. The first thing we see is him in bed with a woman. This ties in with the common Orientalist themes. There's all the sexuality and fantasy and romanticism in the region. The reason why they make the Orient as some sexual fantasy is because they're trying to differentiate themselves from the prosperous, noble. See, they're sexual, they're backwards, they're deviants.
Somebody asked for a wake-up call.
Wow, he just straight up makes fun of the adhan, which is seen as something that is sacred. That's the first thing you want to do in this movie that is likely an Israeli propaganda hit piece. They're trying to make it look like Arabs and the call for prayer is disgusting and awful, and let's make fun of it. There's some intro lovemaking scenes. Eddie Murphy kisses the girl and says, "Thanks for the belly dance." Belly dancing and belly dancers and harem women are part of the Orientalist fantasy over sexualizing women. She puts her veil on while she's inside. Why did she put it on when she's inside? I don't even get it. Why do they even do this? Because they want to make her look exotic and beautiful and oriental. And to add to it, then they have her putting the veil over her face. So stupid. Eddie Murphy walks out onto a town square market or whatever, and this looks nothing like Kuwait. The people, the environment, nothing about this is right. The guy on the bottom right, we have two. We have one who's wearing a shmach over his head. Okay, fine, whatever. But then the guy next to him is wearing a kufiya, Palestinian style kufiya. Kuwaitis do not wear this style of qitra or kufiya. Then the other men are wearing an assortment of clothing from Arabs from around the region. There's men wearing the jalabiya, which is typical for Egyptians, and also they're wearing turbans on their heads. This is also Egyptians. Even if you want to say this is a market scene, so there's an assortment of different Arabs, it doesn't make any sense, okay? I've been in Kuwait markets over 500,000 times in my entire life. I've never seen this assortment or this variety. This is all kinds of wrong. We got this woman here who's wearing a full veil, black, and then she's got a white something on her head that I haven't seen any Kuwaiti wear. They have her all covered, which historically, yes, women were veiled out in public, but if this is Kuwait in the 1980s, this is completely wrong. It's very well known that Kuwait in the 1980s was incredibly liberal. Women would wear short skirts. Rarely would they be wearing hijabs in the streets. Then look at this guy on the bottom right who walks into frame. His qitra is just thrown on like no care in the world, and his agal is crooked and off and bad. Then there's camels, of course, because if there's a desert in Arabia, there's gotta be camels, and they start playing Orientalist music. It sounds disgusting. Yani, what is this? What are these mountains in the back? Look at these rolling hills. Kuwait has none of this. Then we see a sign for a military camp that looks like it was made in a kindergarten. It reads in Arabic, Ma'askar al-Amir Ali. So the camp of Prince Ali. And then they put Operation Sandstorm, of course, because desert, so the sand and sandstorms comes off as offensive. Look at that mountain in the back. You know, I'm gonna name it Mount Zibda. He's got the fire extinguisher hose and he's playing with it like it's his balboul. And then there's guys laughing. The guy in the bottom left again is wearing a Palestinian kufiya. The guy on the left is wearing an Egyptian jalabiya. And they're trying to make Kuwaitis look disgusting, like they're over sexual monsters.
No, 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 bang, bang.
He has to explain to him how a gun works. Bang, bang, bang. Like the Arabs are so stupid that they don't know how to use a gun.
How you say cheese in Arabic? Jibni. Jiminy.
Jibna is the singular form, like it's a slice of cheese, okay? You would say jibin. Jibin is cheese in Arabic. So this guy is saying the equivalent of slice of cheese. Wrong. You would just say cheese, jibin. First thing the American soldier asks about is belly dance, because of course belly dance, all the women there are belly dancers in Kuwait. By the way, belly dancing is more of an Egyptian thing. It's not even in Kuwait or Kuwait culture at all. He's doing the Streets of Cairo melody, which again is an Orientalist song. In the context of a modern world, it's used to depict Arabs. Like, oh, it's Arabs, let's play this theme. It happens a lot of times. I see in a bunch of cartoons and movies, they do that. It's awful. Two guys run up to the window and start acting like complete idiots, you know, to make the Arabs look as dumb as possible. And Eddie Murphy makes a sarcastic remark, oh, we can be proud of what we taught these guys while they're acting stupid. We got these army guys marching down the hill and they're saying, واحد 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 اثنين ثلاثة. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. This is an American soldier thing. This is not in Arabia. This is super Orientals. They're just saying like, oh, the American stuff, just give it to them and let them say Arabic. What I am surprised about is they have soldiers with berets on, which is military attire in Kuwait. The military soldiers wear berets. Okay, how much time do we have? Let me explain everything that is going wrong here. Quote unquote Kuwaitis sitting out here. Let's look at this guy in the middle. He's got his qitra on that he's thrown on incredibly sloppily as if he wants to disrespect everyone there. Then he has a golden black agal called the agal maqsib. This type of agal is associated with Saudi Arabians or even Bedouins of the Arabian Peninsula. Kuwaitis do not wear the agal maqsib. He obviously does not have the gahfiya on. Guy on the left has also thrown his qitra on sloppily. At least he has the correct agal. And then the guy all the way on the right has the same aqal maqsib and his qitra looks bad. And surprisingly, he has a falcon on his arm. Why does he have a falcon on his arm? I don't know. Because it's Arab. The Arabs have falcons. Just put a falcon on his arm like that, just sitting around. The guys in the back all have the same problems. Super sloppy, really offensive to be wearing it like that. The one all the way to the left looks like he has a long cord. Again, the Kuwaitis don't have the cord with the agal. One surprising thing is that they have the misbah in their hands, the prayer beads. Why would they go to that extent to give them prayer beads in this scene to try to give some type of authenticity when everything is really bad? Finally, look at the bisht that they are wearing. The bisht is a cloak that you put over your dishtasha, the white long robe. For formal events, you're supposed to wear the black one, especially royalty or special parliament members who these people are supposed to be. They should be wearing black ones. They're wearing cream colored ones, which is bizarre to me. I have never seen a cream colored one in Kuwait actually. But there is the brown one, which we do wear in Kuwait, but it's for less formal events. He shouldn't be wearing that. They should be all wearing black bishts. And I just noticed the guy in the middle, he's wearing Western style American boots. This is not the footwear of the Kuwaitis. In this frame, we can see the guy in the bottom left is wearing black shoes and like suit pants and blue socks. What the heck is this, man? This is so bad and stupid.
Kuwait and America share a common heritage of, share so many similarities like, your deserts.
He's struggling to find similarities between America and Kuwait. And yeah, the similarities are they want the oil and we want some protection, okay? Let's just say it clearly, okay? This guy goes to get on the tank and a piece falls off and he's on the floor going, Oh, Arabs, they're just chanting and saying, oh, yeah, stuff like that. It's so offensive. Eddie gets into the tank. The Arab guy in the background, what is he looking at? An adult nudie mag. Tried to make the Arabs look super sexual, over sexual. They objectify women. Oh, that mountain in Kuwait back there, that's Mount Ziggan. Throughout the movie, they cut to this British quote-unquote comedian, Dudley Moore is his name. These scenes feel like they're from a completely different movie. This movie honestly feels like they took all the scenes from Dudley Moore and they went and filmed scenes with Eddie Murphy and then just put them together. This scene here is incredibly misogynistic and stupid. There's a scientist woman there, and while they're doing these tests, him and some other guy are talking over the mic about all the sexual things that they want to do to this scientist smart woman. It's ick. And remember, this guy is married and has a kid. Then it gets upgraded from talking in a disgusting way about a woman to actual sexual assault. He puts his hand on her rear end while she's bent over looking at some scope. Ah, look in the background. This is Mount Filfil. The tank rolls up on people that look like they're from the 1800s. This is what they want to depict. The Kuwaitis are barbaric, living in the sands and being poor and awful. Crashes through a house and a woman comes out, of which I've never seen clothing like this on Kuwaiti women ever. This is strange clothing. This is not a Kuwaiti. Bunch of Bedouin, which is like the desert nomadic people. Bedouin people run up to the tank. Again, their attire is completely off. Of course, they have sheep because Arabs, you gotta have sheep depicted too. It's offensive, it's stupid. They got the cords on the back of their agals completely wrong. None of them are wearing the gahfiya. They got the agals wrong. The guy in the center, he's wearing a shmach like this one, but it has tassels on it. The tassels on the shmach is a Levantine Arab Palestinian thing, okay? It's not in Kuwait. We don't have tassels on our shmachs. Do you see a tassel on this? Do you? We don't wear tassels on the shmachs. The soldier on the left talks and it's with an Egyptian dialect. He says mafish. Mafish is an Egyptian word, not part of the Kuwait dialect. We see this elder guy and he has a strange qitra, like a brown caramely one. This is not something the Gulf Arabs wear. It's got tassels on it. I honestly, I don't know where this is from, but if you do, tell me. It's definitely not Kuwaiti. He says in Arabic, if you give me $50, I'll take you to get some gas.
$50, I'll slap that sheet off his back.
Now the qitra, the shmach, is a sheet to him. It's a common diss towards Arabs, where bigots will call it a sheet or a towel or a dishcloth. Arab stereotypes are not enough for this movie, so now they have a scene here where they have three generals all dressed up in stereotypical general clothing, and they're supposed to be rulers of a bunch of South American countries. We get a shot of the desert. You people are driving around and there's mosques on top of the hill. And again, nothing like Kuwait. Is so stupid. Now this quote unquote Arab character, who is most likely being played by an Israeli, he starts speaking. What kind of accent comes out of him? A Russian accent. This is insanely common to give Arabs Russian accents.
Don't know, but I think big trouble. I protect you.
There's Arabs walking and they look like they're poor and they're all wearing Levantine Arab clothing to make the Arabs look poor and dirty and awful and like they have nothing, because Arabs are nothing to the people who made this movie. They tell Eddie over the radio that this morning Iraq invaded Kuwait and you're in a Kuwaiti tank. This did happen on August 2nd, 1990. Iraq invaded Kuwait. I was in that war, but I was too young to remember anything. My family, my parents, my dad were all in it, and it was incredibly awful and a horrible time for all of us. There was a lot of awful things happening at that time. But this movie is set in 1984. They just made it up for the plot of this movie. What's the historical context? Iraq was battling Iran at the time. The Iraq-Iran conflict lasted for 7-8 years. The guy on the bottom left, what kind of clothing even is this? Is this like, almost it reminds me of Kurdish style clothing. This is not even Arab style clothing. And then they're making him look stupid and dumb. He's got an old rifle and he's shooting up in the air as if that's gonna shoot down any planes or do anything. Again, making them look stupid.
Hold on to your prayer rugs.
They're Muslims. We gotta say something about prayer rugs. So dumb. This almost looks believable for a town on the outskirts of Kuwait in the 1980s. Maybe. Oh my goodness, why movie? Why? There's a woman in a niqab and the tank is rolling by. So then she does a zagruda because of course it's an Arab woman. They all do zagrudas all the time. They're doing these loud noises. But then look at the way that she does it. She's doing it as a mockery, like what you would see in a cartoon where you put your finger and you're pressing it up and down on your tongue like this, you know, like you're watching a Laurel and Hardy comedy movie from the 1930s or 40s. This is not how the zagruda is done, okay? This is how dumb they are about this stuff. The way that you properly do zagruda, move your tongue to the left and right of your mouth and you hold your hand here kind of to get the shape or the tone of the zagruda. The hand is not actually touching the tongue in any way, shape, or form like what we're seeing here. She was actually doing it. They ADR'd it. They recorded it in post and then put it over here because put your tongue on cotton and move it up and down is not going to do anything. The director's like, hey, do this thing. This is how the Arab woman makes sounds. And they added it in post. So this is offensive and stupid on multiple levels. They have little kids running up to the tank and throwing stones on them. This is a reference to Zionist Israeli soldiers attacking and killing Palestinians, and the little kids, the poor children, have nothing to defend themselves with except with rocks. They put that into this movie and it is so despicable. It is disgusting that they put this in here, and it's supposed to be like a comedic moment, like haha, look at these little kids running up and throwing stones at the tanks. And then look at how they're clothed. None of them are wearing anything that looks like Arab clothes. Honestly, they kind of look like little Jewish children. Because that's what they are. This is filmed in Israel. They just threw some turbans and some random clothes on them like, oh, this is Arab. And then they do the same thing with women wearing the niqab. And of course, they put the zagruda. The zagruda is for happy occasions, fun times, celebrations. It's not a war cry. We see this in so much media from America. They give Arab women or even Arab men I've seen in fighting scenes, they put the zagruda as if it's a war cry because they're so dumb. They have no idea what it is. They just associate it with war cries because it is similar, I think, to Native American war cries, that high-pitched kind of wailing ululation kind of thing. So they think that it has something to do with a war cry. So they put it on these women who are running up to the tank and they're throwing weapons at them. Another layer to this is they're trying to say, oh, look, you can't trust the niqab women, the covered women. You don't know what they have. They could have weapons. They could have sticks. Do not trust the covered women. That's what they're implying here. A soldier runs up with an RPG, shoots it at the tank, and of course he yells, Allahu Akbar. Because all Arabs and all Muslims are yelling Allahu Akbar no matter what they do. Maybe the only funny moment in the whole movie, but it's messed up. Eddie Murphy's shooting at the soldier. He says, do the Michael Jackson, do the James Brown, because he's jumping at bullets, shooting at his feet. And this is a common comedy thing that you see in a lot of comedy movies and cartoons where they're shooting bullets at the feet to make somebody dance. Again, another Western movie reference. They have these awful shots of small little model helicopter trying to play it off as if it's a big helicopter, and it looks awful. Movie ends with the tank destroying the helicopter. Everyone celebrates. They saved the day. I don't know why, but just destroying one helicopter, I guess, ends the war. This movie is a piece of Zigan. It's offensive, it's stupid, it's awful, it doesn't represent anything about Arabia, full of Orientalist stereotypes, and they want to make you think that Arabs are poor, dumb, barbaric, sexual, and idiotic. It's also just a bad movie in general. So bad that it's bad that I don't recommend anyone to watch it. I skipped through more than 60% of the movie because it keeps cutting to the British guy who's not funny at all, who is just sexually harassing a science woman. It is not interesting in the slightest. I wish I never watched this. My life is worse off now that I've seen it, and I don't recommend anyone to watch it.